Principle of Second Language Acquisition. Good day everyone. I am Saguira Cosain discussing the principle of language acquisition in Module 4. There are 6 principles of language acquisition, but I will give emphasis to the first 3 and expand them in order for you to better understand the following principles. So, you can learn a language anytime, anywhere, and everywhere. All of us using language, whether it is learned or are acquired. The most important is you have it. Use it in your own way to have connections with the other people around you. Okay, I'm gonna discuss the first 3 among the 6 principles of language acquisition. This will let you know how an individual acquires language on different stages. Okay, principle number 1. Children learn what they hear most. Frequency matters. Children learn what they hear most. A concern for ESL children growing up in improved environment is that the amount of input a child hears in each language may affect vocabulary size in each language. So, children usually get new vocabularies to what they heard more frequent. As it repeat pronouns by the other people or anything, it can possibly mark on their mind. According to some researchers, a concern for English as second language children growing up in improvised environment is that the amount of input a child hears in each language may affect vocabulary size in each language. This means that the more they have the words frequently, the more words occupy their mind capacity. This all well subject for their use in every conversation. So, for example, a child often heard the word basket. As frequent they hear this word about, they can imitate it depends on their speed of imitation. Sometimes they cannot pronounce it well. Processing speed. This is a rate of speed which a child recognizes the spoken word. Children's ability to grasp the meaning of new words uttered in linguistic context. So, meaning enables the rate of speed of how long a new word remains on the mind of a child until it becomes a word they will use usually. Second, statistical learning is likely to be used by English as second language children. As studies have shown that infants can track speech sound in foreign language. Children learn new words permanently by isolating phonemes, stress patterns in words, and the initial stages of acquisition. So, means, in this part, they will be able to practice how the word pronounced properly. Most of the time, they know the word but they don't know how to pronounce, which usually affects the meaning of the word itself. Second principle. Children learn new words or things in events that interest them. According to Bloom 1993, language learning is enhanced when the word a child hears bear upon and are pertinent to the object engagement, interest, or feelings. So, this means that children will likely learn words that interest them or give them pleasure thereof. So, the emergentist collision model of language development suggests that children have access to a number of occurring cues for word learning, but on cues that they are particularly drawn to at different developmental time points. Research suggests that children whose parents follow their child's interest to an object are creating a joint attention situation more likely to learn the label for that object that when parents redirect their children to another depth. This means that objects or things that interest children can give more chances to learn their names or to be familiarized by children. Object easily remember when it gives somewhat pleasure to the children. We will proceed the principle 3. Interactive and responsive rather than passive context promote language learning. So, this is principle emphasizes that the language or word cannot directly learn by the children whenever they heard it. Most of the time, although they have heard the word from others, they cannot learn it easily. Sometimes, parents or adults have give follow-up on it to know the context of the word. This means that it needs interaction. Infants and young children learn context in which their vocabulary, gesture, and facial expression evoke responses to people around them. So, this means that a child trying to convey something or having a language which trying to have social interaction around them. For example, when they cry, they are trying to convey that something happened on them in order for them to be understood. They will use their own language which they want for others to be familiarized in a long run. Adult or parents will know this next time. Accordingly, infants learn only from live orientation, suggesting that contingent social interaction can play a causal role in speech and speech perception. So, this means that they only learn language when their parents or adult people trying to communicate in front of them. So, their learning is based on how parents will talk to them on live, meaning they can see and heard personally. Children learn novel verbs in one of three conditions according to Husteve, Hers, Pats, and Golikov. Number 1, live interaction training. So, live interaction training, most of the time children, especially infants, need this to have an exchange of meaning or context among parents or adult people. They learn a language upon hearing and seeing it personally. So, number 2, socially contingent video training. Sometimes, videos can also give additional learning to the children, especially toddlers. They love to see something which gives them pleasure and happiness. Video is somewhat interests children through videos. Children can imitate words or language they have heard on it according to some studies. So, number 3, non-contingent video training.